Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, we're gonna do the top 10 figures of 2018 so far. Now, I don't normally do this, but I get throughout the year, every year, people asking, every time I review a figure that's particularly good, they'll say, is this gonna go on the top 10 list? And I'll be like, I don't know, it's only January. But I figure, what the heck? Let's do a halfway through, this is what we have so far type of thing. I've had a few people suggest that I do that in the past, so let's just go ahead and do it. So we're a little bit later than halfway through the year right now. I wanted to make sure we got Comic-Con in just in case something special came out, and we did get at least one or two things from Comic-Con that are gonna make the list, so that kind of makes sense. But I don't think it's that big of a deal that it's a little bit past halfway, because there's still gonna be plenty of good figures, hopefully, between now and December. So we'll do this again at the end of the year and actually have our final 2018 list. But for now, these are the top 10 figures of 2018. Coming in at number 10, we have the new version of Broly. And it's at number 10 because it's still kind of a cool figure. I really enjoy this one, just mostly because it's so dang big, but pretty well executed. And it looks cool, but it is at number 10 because it's the third version. Not entirely fair to include it, but if that was the case, we could never include anything that reuses parts either. So I'm gonna include it here at number 10. It's a really fun figure, kind of difficult to pose, but definitely has that really nice shelf appeal. Coming in at number 9, we have the Son Goku figure, Kid Goku, because it's a really fun figure. It does have a lot of flaws, don't get me wrong, there are issues, but it does do a few things really well. We've got some cool accessories, it's a lot of fun to pose, the shoulders are designed really nicely, the knees are okay, the ankles are okay. Yeah, it's not perfect, but if you don't have a Kid Goku figure, you might want to think about picking one up. It's a lot of fun, it's a nice addition to the collection, plus it comes with a Dragon Ball. Next up, we have the Marvel Legends Deathlock figure, which does feature a lot of really nice stuff. It's still generally a relatively low-end figure. I mean, it's still a $20 figure, and the good stuff applies toward that, and so it could definitely be a lot better. But for what it is, compared to most Marvel Legends, it's really darn good. The only thing that would make this better is completely personal, and that is if it was a better character. I don't particularly care for Deathlock, so I didn't put him higher on the list, and it's my list, so deal with it. But it's still a really cool figure, so if you like Deathlock, then you can rest assured knowing that it did make the list in some capacity. In at number 7, we have the Storm Collectibles Hachi figure, which is a really, really solid figure. The only thing I don't care for on this guy is that some of the joints are too tight, and that's potentially really problematic. But otherwise, it's executed really well. It might be their most accurate figure to date. They did a pretty good job with the proportions, all of the sculpted details look really nice, and in particular, the head looks really nice. If you are at all a fan of Tekken, this is one you may want to consider getting. Coming in at number 6, we have the SH Figuarts Goku Black, which I know some people had some problems with, most people really liked it. I'm personally a pretty big fan of it. There are a couple tiny little issues, but overall it's really nicely executed. It's a really fun figure to pose around and display. You get the 2 different options for the head, and you get 2 different energy effects. You don't get that almost ever. You almost get no energy effects ever, and in this case we got 2, so that's definitely a nice bonus, and I think most people are going to enjoy having this one. Number 5 on this list is going to go to the Storm Collectibles Shao Kahn figure, which is a really, really nice release. I think pretty much everybody has enjoyed this. I know a few people have had a few QC issues, but overall it's really solid. There's a lot of nice engineering on this guy, and for a big guy, it's fairly well posable. I mean, he's really bulky and stocky, and he does have the extra armor, but you can get him in some decent poses, and he comes with his throne, and the hammer, and the alternate head, and the helmet. There's just a lot to have fun with, so I think this guy's definitely a good pickup for most people. Coming in at number 4, we have the new Marvel Legends Wolverine figure, and this one definitely has to make the list because it is by far, without a doubt, the best Wolverine figure under $21 to date. It's a $20 Marvel Legends figure, and it is damn near perfect. The claws could definitely be better, the face could be a little bit better, but they're still good enough as they are, and the rest of the figure, as far as Marvel Legends go, don't get me wrong, it's still just a Marvel Legends figure, but as far as they go, You can't do much better than this. Coming in at number 3, we have NECA's new Kratos figure, aka Papa Kratos. Now this figure does come in at the 7-inch scale, so it's not going to go well with a lot of your collections, but that's not really that big of a downside considering otherwise the figure is just about perfect. It almost matches the game like absolutely 100% perfectly. It's really, really well done. The articulation's pretty darn solid. It's loaded with details, loaded with articulation. It's pretty much all you could ask for a Kratos figure. Coming in at number 2, we have the Flame Toys Drift figure, which I was a little bit hesitant about including simply because it's so expensive. It's like $300, but even at that price point, I don't think I've ever experienced a figure that was as enjoyable as this one. It is just absolutely chock full of detail. It's got crazy articulation, plenty of accessories, all kinds of parts that light up on it. It's just all around incredible. And here's the thing. Even at a $300 price point, I don't think you're gonna find yourself wishing you hadn't spent it once you get the figure, of course. I'm pretty sure anybody who gets this is gonna be satisfied by the figure. But it does come in at a higher price point, so it's kind of in a separate realm from some of these other figures, but that's okay. We're still gonna leave it on the list because it is really that good. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have the Figma Genji figure.
I need healing.
Okay, but seriously, the real number 1 spot goes to Necas Tmnt 4-pack from San Diego Comic-Con. The 7-inch line of live-action Ninja Turtles is just by far, bar none, the best thing I've purchased this year. Value per dollar, you can't beat it. It's just that good. There are a couple little tiny issues with this batch of figures, of course. That's going to be pretty much the case with anything. They still by far blow away the rest of the competition. They are so well handled. Mind-boggling to me that more companies don't put this sort of care and attention into their figures. Because all it takes is a little bit of extra care and you're going to be able to sell more stuff because people are going to appreciate what you're putting out that much more. Obviously having the right licenses help, and this is definitely the case for this. I mean, I don't think people would care that much if they made really good figures of something that nobody cared about. But they happen to pick something that people really like, and they're also producing really high quality figures. You just can't beat it. So these guys definitely make the number 1 spot. Alrighty, that's gonna do it, guys, for our tentative top 10 list for 2018. Let me know what you thought about my list. I'm sure you're gonna have some different options. So if you thought anything on my list didn't belong, or if you think there are other figures that do belong, go ahead, let me know what your top 10 list so far would be. It'll be fun to talk about that in the comments section below. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up almost every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games. We stream 3 nights a week where I'm designing my own action figure line. That's right here on YouTube and also over on Twitch. Lots of fun stuff here, guys. So make sure you come back for all that good stuff. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure you turn on notifications if you're subscribed. And in the meantime, keep collecting.